Hey, what is going on, Frag fam? I hope you guys are all doing well today. Elliot here. Welcome back to the Fragrance Well. For today's video, we are going to be talking about what I'm going to call pillow talk scents. Yeah, you know exactly what that means. These are fragrances that are sexy, they're alluring, they're intoxicating, they're gravitating, they smell great on your skin when someone you're trying to do some special things with is a little bit closer to you, if you know what I mean. Granted, this is going to be based on my personal opinion of scents like this, but that being said, I think these fragrances work great for that. It can always vary from person to person, and obviously there's no guarantee that anybody's going to like anything 100%, but you get the point. It's all about a vibe with these fragrances, and I will go over that as I talk about the fragrances as well as what they smell like. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get right into it. But before we do, as always, please remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you do like the content, and please hit that bell icon and enable notifications so you can be notified when I upload new videos. Let's get into it. All right, guys, before we get into the fragrances, a quick minor channel update. If you've ever looked in my description, you notice I don't post places where you can get these fragrances from. That's going to change as of this video. I'm going to start posting links in the description for the fragrances I feature in the video. I want to be fully transparent with you guys. The majority of the time, the fragrance link I'm going to post over others is going to be ones I have an affiliate link for. If you're unfamiliar with how affiliate links work, they're basically like a referral link. If you happen to purchase a fragrance that I talk about through my affiliate link, I will receive a small commission for that purchase, but it is at no extra cost to you. There's no special stipulation you have to go through. You get the fragrance for the price that the store has listed, and I do believe any applicable discounts still apply. Let me make it perfectly clear that there is no obligation whatsoever to purchase through any affiliate link that I post, or any link that I post for that matter, because I cannot guarantee you, matter of fact, I'm not going to guarantee you that it is the best price for that fragrance. If you also look in my description, I list every store that I buy fragrances from. I encourage you to do your own research and find the best price for you, because believe me, that is exactly what I do. All right, so that gets that out of the way. So let's get to the fragrances. First one's coming from Arabian Oud. This is Royal Oud. Arabian Oud, Royal Oud. And this one here is almost knocked the cap off. This one is a beautiful, sexy, intoxicating, super luxurious, high quality oud and rose fragrance. It's basically Cambodian oud, a very luxurious, very slightly fruity rose with also some slight lemony qualities to it, and also a musk accord that I think just kind of ties the two together, maybe softens the blow a little bit from the oud that is here, because Cambodian oud can be a little bit rough, especially when you first spray it on, but it does settle into this beautiful oud smell that Arabian Oud really likes to use in a lot of their fragrances. I don't think there's any denying that a really good oud rose fragrance can really make for a good pillow talk scent. This one here, because of the luxurious nature of it, I'm thinking like, adult-friendly activities in a very luxurious place, if you will. That's kind of the mindset that comes to mind for me when I think about this fragrance, and in that scenario, if you will. But that's pretty much the gist of the fragrance. It's incredibly simple, but it is incredibly high quality at the same time. So once again, from Arabian Oud, this is Royal Oud. All right, next one's going to be coming from Dolce & Gabbana. This is the One Eau de Parfum. Dolce & Gabbana, the One Eau de Parfum. All right, tried and tested at this point. Well proven to be an excellent evening wear scent, especially for date nights, and yes, even for the pillow talk stuff. And the good thing about this scent, in my opinion at least, is that, the main complaint for the fragrance is also its greatest strength, particularly when it comes to what we're talking about in this video. But before I get into that, what is this scent? Just in case you're unaware, it's spicy. It has a very nice kind of orange flavored citrus profile with very nice warm spicy cardamom. Smells really great. I think there's also like a ginger kind of spice in this too. It's a very nice clean tobacco fragrance. It's ambery. It's got some woody profile as well, and the stuff just smells excellent. I still remember when I first got my nose on this, I was blown away by it. I'm like, that is excellent. That is a really great scent. I wasn't really familiar with occasions for fragrances at that time, but I do remember just really liking this. And this fragrance here, I said tried and true, tested. It's because it does work for this very scenario. And again, the greatest weakness is the performance. People don't like that this fragrance is not like a mega performer, but that's also its greatest strength, because when you think about date night or pillow talk, as we're talking about in this video, you don't really need the fragrance to fill up a room. You want it to be close to you because you want the person to come close to you and not be repulsed by you by getting blown away from a super strong fragrance that you have on your skin. So this fragrance automatically kind of does that. I wouldn't say you need to spray this a lot anyway for it to do what it does. It's meant to be a part of your personal space, but a few sprays of this and the fragrance will give you that without being too powerful. Should have mentioned it for the Royal Oud though. That one's the exact opposite. You want to go minimal on the sprays for that, so just FYI. So once again, from Dolce & Gabbana, this is the One Eau de Parfum. All right, moving on. Next one's coming from Rosendo Mateu. This is number 5. Rosendo Mateu, number 5, Floral Amber Sensual Musk, the basic breakdown of what you're getting from this fragrance. And that's very, very accurate. You get like some creamy white florals in here. It's a collection of them. You get this very, very nice, very light saffron approach, because saffron can sometimes be screechy, but it is present in here and it's not screechy. And it also kind of adds this soft suede like leather facet to the scent. The musk in here is very soft and pillowy and warm and a little bit vanillic. Fragrance is awesome. The good thing about this scent is it almost was made for this very occasion. I think this is a great, sexy, attractive evening wear fragrance, perfect for the pillow talk scenario. And in particular, this one here, even though it kind of has this soft character from a scent profile, it pushes. So you don't need a lot for it to do what it does. Trust me, if you spray this as if you're going out on the town or something like that, and then you're trying to go to the pillow talk scenario, it's probably going to be a little bit overwhelming. So if that is your goal, go lighter on the sprays. You don't really need to overspray this one anyway. Trust me, it lasts a very long time and it pushes very, very nicely. But the scent profile of this is definitely one of the sexiest ones I've ever gotten my nose on. So once again, from Rosendo Mateu, this is number 5. All right, let's move on to one from Marc-Antoine Barras, and this is Ganymede. Marc-Antoine Barras, Ganymede. Yes, this is my favorite fragrance in my collection if you've been watching my channel for some time, but the fact of the matter is, it's a great fragrance for everything, including the scenario we're talking about in this video. I've never really talked about this fragrance like that, but it does work. And just that really nice kind of dry, masculine, woody profile that's, you know, really present when the fragrance is kind of dried down on your skin. I think that's the sexiness that comes from this scent. But if you're unfamiliar with the overall profile of the fragrance, definitely a mandarin like citrus, also some saffron, maybe a little bit more forward, but there is a suede like leather in here and it's not too dirty, if you will. It's very mineralic, very ozonic in a very interesting way. And I already mentioned the dry, woody facet in here as well, and kind of this burnt sugar like sweetness that is also in the underbelly of this fragrance. So yeah, you guys already know how much I love this stuff, but yes, it does work for this scenario as well. And it's going to be one of those instances where you don't want to have the fragrance sprayed on too heavy for it to kind of fit that profile. You can kind of, because you can use this fragrance in a variety of ways, you can also use a varying degree of sprays to achieve different results. And I think for the pillow talk scenario, you want to go lighter on the sprays with this. This is an all-day fragrance. It's basically nuclear. I'd never really called it that, but anytime I wear this and it's not rubbed off later on, this fragrance stays on your skin for over 24 hours. So this is a nuclear fragrance. It's not a super beast mode projector, but it still pushes off the skin enough to where if you spray too much, kind of negates being effective as a pillow talk scent. So once again, from Marc-Antoine Barras, this is Ganymede. All right, guys, next one's going to be coming from Dior, and this is Homme 2020. Dior Homme 2020. And ironically, completely different profile from Ganymede, but for the same reasons, I think it's an effective pillow talk fragrance. It has this amazing, not overly aggressive, not heavy, dry, woody profile at the base of the fragrance. Overall, this scent, you're getting kind of a spicy, lemony profile, really heavy on the LME, so it's got this kind of richer take on that DNA or that element of the fragrance, and also very much a cedar wood like woodiness to the scent with some musk to soften it as well. And yeah, I think for the exact same reason that I think Ganymede could be an effective pillow talk scent, it's the same with this, just presented in a different packaging, but for the same reasons. that musky woodiness that this fragrance has makes this fragrance very attractive, very alluring, and I think any compliment factor that this fragrance has, it's because of that feature, in my humble opinion. But I do think this fragrance can absolutely work for that scenario as well. Same thing, you don't need to spray the crap out of it for it to be that. Unless you sprayed it on earlier in the day and the fragrance has just kind of dried down, it's become more of a personal scent on you, then it could work in that scenario, but you get my point. Once again, from Dior, this is Homme 2020. All right, guys, next one's going to be coming from Day 3 Fragrances, and this is Ámbar Dominicano. Day 3 Fragrances, Ámbar Dominicano. All right, so you can't have a Pillow Talk scent list without having something that just kind of smells delicious. That's basically what this fragrance is. This one has a very interesting, almost rum and coke kind of vibe, or, you know, Jack and Coke kind of vibe to it. But it also has a very interesting note of Mama Juana, which, if you're familiar with Mama Juana, basically it's a Dominican drink that features wine, spices, honey, could be some other things. It's really kind of based on how you make it. Apparently people in the Dominican Republic just kind of make it however they want, but you could also buy it as well. I was able to try some when I was in the Dominican Republic briefly last year, and the drink is great. And apparently this is a drink that you consume if you're trying to have babies. So naturally, that makes this a perfect Pillow Talk scent. Now, I'm not going to say that my child is a result of having some Mama Juana, but it was close in tandem. We had to drink it actually before it got off the boat because unfortunately my bottle got damaged. So that's that. But anyway, yeah, this fragrance does have a very warming, sexy, gourmand smell to it that is a little bit boozy, and I think it can really make for a great Pillow Talk type scent if it's sitting nicely on your skin and not overpowering anybody. So once again, from Day 3 Fragrances, this is Ámbar Dominicano. All right, next one's going to be coming from Mason Francis Kirkjohn, and this is Grand Soir. Mason Francis Kirkjohn, Grand Soir. So another scent style that I think really makes a great Pillow Talk scent is something that is just simply warm and cozy. And that's Grand Soir personified. Very warm, slightly spicy amber fragrance that's very, very vanillic. Doesn't really come across as gourmand to me, even though it's heavy on the vanilla, but this is just definitely one of the richest, warmest fragrances that I have in my cabinet. I'm not saying it's the best, I'm not saying it's the most warm, but this one definitely falls into that category and is an excellent Pillow Talk fragrance. And by the way, I haven't really mentioned it, but this one can work for men and women in terms of being a great Pillow Talk scent. Anybody smelling some not overbearingly, overly sweet vanilla that is just very warm with a slight spice profile, I think would enjoy in that type of scenario. Once again, from Mason Francis Kirkjohn, this is Grand Soir. All right, next one's going to be coming from Histoires des Parfums. This is Noir Patchouli. Come on, focus. Thank you. Histoires des Parfums, Noir Patchouli. So with this one, this may be a little bit strange for some people if you've never really experienced a scent quite like this. Now, I'm pretty sure most of you guys are familiar with patchouli, but this one is presenting patchouli in a way that is kind of this old classical sexual space, if you know what I mean. Anytime I've talked about this fragrance, I've always said it smells like one of the largest, like mega adult stores that we have here in Central Florida. I swear this fragrance smells exactly like this place. And if we're being completely honest, the main clientele of that place is people who were probably a lot younger in the 70s. This one, I think, kind of encapsulates that smell, even if that wasn't necessarily the inspiration for it. I don't think it was, but that's what it smells like to me because I've just smelled those smells before. Spicy profile, light spicy profile, kind of more of the, it has an earthy patchouli profile, but interestingly enough, patchouli does not overtake this scent. There's plenty of patchouli fragrances that are way stronger than this. Does have some musky qualities, has a little bit of sweetness to it, and a little bit of an herbal green feel as well. But if you've ever been in a place that kind of is trying to capture that old patchouli from the 70s kind of vibe, this fragrance kind of does that, but in a lighter way. In terms of the Pillow Talk conversation, I don't know what it is, but to me, this fragrance in a weird way just kind of smells like desire. I can't really explain it. I can't really pull it into the words, but I think this fragrance just kind of has that quality to it. It's very interesting reaction that I get from the fragrance. So once again, from Histoires des Parfums, this is Noir Patchouli. All right, next one's going to be coming from Memo Paris. This is African leather. Memo Paris, African leather. So African leather, super popular scent. I know it's a favorite of many of you guys, and I completely understand why. A really rich cardamom present in this fragrance, cardamom and cinnamon. A really nice, luxurious, luscious rose at the heart of the scent. Almost more rose than leather, in my opinion, but that's a conversation for another day. Definitely woody at the base. It's a little bit ambery as well. And you do get this leather profile, but I swear leather is not the main focus of this scent. So it's a little bit misleading in the name, but again, the facet is there. The reason I wanted to include this fragrance on this list is number one, it smells amazing. But number two, it almost has this kind of primal attitude to it. Now, I don't inherently think of pillow talk when I smell this fragrance outright. I have another picture in mind, basically a big black dude with an afro, and also like some Cubo African music playing in the background with carpet on the wall. That's the picture that comes to mind with this scent. But in terms of the pillow talk conversation, yeah, it just kind of has this almost edgy primal smell to it, a edgy primal attractive smell to it. And that is a scenario that could very well apply to what we're talking about in this fragrance. So once again, from Memo Paris, this is African leather. All right, and the final fragrance for this video is coming from Savoir Faire. This is the Whiskey Rose. Savoir Faire, the Whiskey Rose. So the name is appropriate here. You do basically get booze-soaked rose petals from this fragrance. Very much in a whiskey style. It's a little bit of a kind of a tart fruitiness in here. There's also a very nice leather accord in this. There's definitely this luxurious woody base to the scent. Maybe a dash of some sweetness in here, but I wouldn't really call this a sweet fragrance. This one is attractive in a different way. It's very opulent, kind of high-end, attractive smelling fragrance. And in terms of pillow talk, booze is typically associated with said activity in some varying degrees. And this fragrance here makes me think booze associated pillow talk while being in a very, shall we say, formal event. Either you were just really dressed up and you're ending the night on a high note, or maybe even from a conference, a formal conference or something like that. That is the picture that kind of comes into mind when I think of pillow talk as it relates to this fragrance. In general, I see the fragrance as being something you wear to a higher end establishment. If it's just dinner, I'm thinking high-end steakhouse or seafood house or Italian house, something of that nature. But that's the overall vibe I get from this fragrance. But above all that, it smells really, really good and very, very alluring and attractive in a very luxurious way, in my opinion. So once again, from Savoir Faire, this is the Whiskey Rose. All right, guys, that's gonna wrap it up for this video. If you would like to, let me know down in the comments below what some of your favorite pillow talk fragrances are. I would love to see what you guys have to say. And also, if you want to, let me know what you think about the fragrances I talked about in this video. Do they have the level of attractiveness that makes them a good pillow talk scent or not? I would love to see what you guys have to say. Thanks again for watching all the way into the end. I really do appreciate you guys. Please remember to be well and smell well. And I will see you in the next episode of The Fragrance Well. Have a good one.